In the stillness of the great cosmic sea, there exists a silence so deep and vast that even light cannot escape it. This place is the realm of black holes, where gravity wraps space like a velvet curtain and time itself seems to drift into slumber. One curious truth floats gently in this darkness. Black holes, often imagined as violent and chaotic, can also be the most tranquil destinations in all the universe. Imagine a region where nothing happens for millennia, where change unfurls more slowly than a glacier gliding across ancient Earth. This is not just the unknown, it is the gently breathing edge between being and mystery, inviting the mind to wander into dreams. Far beyond the reach of the sun's last golden whispers, black holes wait in stillness, tucked quietly in the folds of the cosmos. Some drift alone for billions of years, untouched and unbothered, like forgotten lanterns in an eternal ocean. They do not roar, they do not move in haste. Instead, they cradle ancient starlight in their invisible arms, folding it gently into their quiet form. Around one such black hole, called Sagittarius A, which slumbers at the center of our very own galaxy, stars orbit slowly, as if in a timeless dance. This central giant has been asleep for ages, barely stirring, casting no light, only the gentle influence of its gravity on the stars that circle in silent choreography. In this stillness, we find not fear, but something oddly peaceful, a kind of cosmic hibernation, serene and undisturbed. Some black holes drift together in gentle pairs, bound by gravity's quiet patience. These binary black holes circle one another for eons, like ancient companions in a slow celestial waltz. Their orbits are measured not in days or years, but in lifetimes carved across the fabric of space. They do not collide quickly or noisily. Instead, their dance narrows ever so gradually, inching closer over ages, releasing soft ripples in spacetime known as gravitational waves. These waves pass through the cosmos as delicate tremors, softer than a breeze, unnoticed by all but the most sensitive instruments. It is a silent conversation between giants, whispered across time, carrying the echo of their presence through the stillness of the universe. Surrounding many black holes is something called the accretion disk, a slow river of stardust and gas spiraling inward over immense periods. Though they are often imagined as fiery whirlpools, these disks can also be delicate and diffuse, drifting gently like fog drawn inward by unseen hands. The process is not always violent. In the quiet outskirts of these disks, particles take centuries to move a single orbit. Picture a leaf gliding along a lazy stream, pulled toward a center not with force, but with the inevitability of gravity's tender tug. This slow spiral continues in silence, as if the universe itself is exhaling, letting go, relaxing into stillness. Black holes are not always born from chaos. Some arrive gently, as if fading into place, through the quiet collapse of ancient stars whose fires have gone out. These stars, once brilliant beacons across time, eventually exhaust all their fuel and begin to shrink inward, folding into themselves silently. No grand explosion, no violent farewell, just a slow inward sigh of a life well lived, turning softly into shadow. This process can be as gentle as dusk, settling over a still landscape, the last light fading into the horizon while the star slowly ceases to be. In its place remains a black hole, not a devourer, but a silent marker of a star's final peace, cradling the memory of its glow deep within the velvet dark. Just beyond the threshold of a black hole lies the event horizon, a boundary not of destruction but of profound stillness. This edge is not a wall, but a moment the last before something disappears from view forever. Yet it is not swift or sudden. For anything approaching this boundary, time appears to slow to a near halt. A falling particle, seen from afar, lingers there indefinitely, as if the universe itself holds its breath. This slowing of time, called time dilation, turns motion into pause, speed into hush, activity into quiet reverence. It is a reminder that in the presence of great gravity, the cosmos does not rush. It waits, it listens, and along this invisible line, the world becomes still, caught between what was and what will never return, wrapped in the silent poetry of space and time unfolding into sleep. At the heart of every black hole lies a secret, a singularity, mysterious and infinitely small, where the laws of physics seem to blur into dreams. But from a distance, this heart is hidden, not roaring like a furnace, but veiled in perfect serenity. It is not the violence of the core that defines these cosmic cradles, but the silence that surrounds them. Around the singularity, space stretches like a sleeping cat, bending gently into curves and folds shaped by invisible hands. The closer one looks, the more softly reality seems to bend, not crack. In this way, black holes become guardians of stillness, their presence less a threat and more a lullaby, written in the language of gravity and time. The singularity is never seen, only sensed a quiet heartbeat in the universe's slumbering chest, pulsing not with sound, but with silent wonder. Some black holes reside within the hearts of galaxies, embedded deep within swirling clusters of stars and cosmic dust. Yet they remain imperturbably calm. These are known as supermassive black holes, and though their name may sound imposing, their behavior is often anything but. They sit in hushed stillness, anchoring the galaxy like a pebble resting at the bottom of a vast, still lake. Stars turn around them slowly, like petals in a cosmic whirl, influenced not by command but by a silent gravitational whisper. They shape the spiral arms of galaxies with a presence that is felt but never seen, almost like a soft breath that stirs the silk of the night. These gentle giants remind the cosmos of balance, of calm amidst the vast spinning dance, of how even the largest of things can move with perfect grace and unshakable tranquility. There is even a kind of black hole that forms not from stars, but from the weaving of the early cosmos itself. These are known as primordial black holes, imagined to have been born in the first breath of creation, just moments after the universe began. Unlike the great stellar remnants that take billions of years to form, these ancient relics may have appeared in an instant, shaped from the quiet ripples of density that moved through the infant expanse. If they exist, they are small, silent, solitary vagabonds, wandering invisibly through the interstellar quiet. No light marks their passing, no sound heralds their presence. They are the softest footprints of the universe's first dreams, reminders that not all beginnings come with a bang. Some arrive whispering, some arrive with stillness, and some, perhaps, are merely the universe tucking its memories into the folds of time. Time behaves strangely near black holes, stretching and curling like mist between trees on a quiet morning. This phenomenon, born from the immense gravity of these unseen giants, is not abrupt but deeply gradual, like watching shadows lengthen with the evening sunday. The closer an object falls toward a black hole, the slower its clock ticks when observed from afar, not just a metaphor, but a measurable lull in the rhythm of time itself. It is as if the universe leans towards stillness at the edge of these cosmic wells, slowing down not just motion but the very cadence of existence. This effect, called gravitational time dilation, is not explosive or bright, but rather a soft unthreading of expected time, a slow hush over everything that dares listen closely. In this way, black holes do not only bend space, they cradle time, slowing its steps, inviting the cosmos to rest its weary thoughts and drift deeper into sleep. Among the quietest truths about black holes is their connection to sound, or rather, the profound absence of it. In the vacuum of space, sound cannot travel, and black holes reside in some of the stillest corners of the cosmos. Yet, astronomers have found that some black holes, especially colossal ones nestled within clusters of galaxies, can generate ripples in the surrounding gas that resemble deep, unending tones, notes so low they are impossible for human ears to perceive. These cosmic hums are less like thunder and more like the gentle resonance of a whisper across a million years. It is the universe playing the faintest lullaby, not for us, but perhaps for itself, a serene murmur echoing through the vast and tranquil sea of silence. In this cosmic hush, one finds not drama, but a feeling of being drawn closer to the dreamlike nature of the universe, as if the very fabric of space is gently humming us to sleep. Sometimes, black holes emit faint jets of particles that stretch gracefully into the void, like brushstrokes of energy painted on the night's canvas. These jets travel vast distances, not in outbreaks of chaos, but in narrow beams of exquisite precision, touching the edges of intergalactic space with quiet determination. They seem almost painterly, as if the universe is softly signing its name across the stars. Despite the energies involved, these streams unfold not like explosions, but like slow pores of light filtered through time itself. They drift outward for millions of years, remaining steady, unwavering, like a candle flame untouched by wind. Observed from afar, it is a gentle show of balance, the black hole not consuming, but releasing, parting with whispers of starlight and memory. And in that quiet action, there is a profound serenity, a reminder that even in darkness, the cosmos remembers how to exhale in peace. Even the act of discovery, the way black holes are known to us, is cloaked in tranquility. We cannot see them directly, for they shine no light, yet their presence is traced through the soft ballet of their influence. A solitary star wobbling gently in space, a slow arc carved into a galaxy's arm, a quiet flicker in distant X-rays. These are the whispered signatures of something unseen but deeply felt. Scientists use delicate instruments, like cosmic stethoscopes, to listen to the quiet rhythms black holes leave behind. Through these gentle traces, black holes become storytellers of the invisible, narrating the quiet flow of gravity's ancient will. There is patience in their revelation, a calm waiting that matches the slowness of dreams, where understanding comes not in flashes, but in soft layers unfolding over time. In quiet corners of the universe, even where a black hole's gentle influence reaches no further, its presence can still shape the passage of light itself. This phenomenon, known as gravitational lensing, occurs when a black hole bends the path of light from distant stars, curving their rays like a breeze bending tall grass. From Earth, we see this as a soft distortion, a subtle arc of brightness where there was once a straight line. It is not a trick, but a quiet echo of space being molded like warm clay around an invisible hand. Like reflections dancing on the surface of still water, these curvatures remind us that gravity does not always pull or crush. Sometimes, it sculpts the cosmos with the gentlest of touches, redistributing light, reshaping distance, and reweaving the tapestry of space with dignity and grace. In this way, the black hole's influence is not just in what it hides, but also in the way it gently reveals bending reality like a dream caught mid-turn, luminous and hush-bound beneath a blanket of stars. Another quietly mesmerizing trait of black holes rests in their ability to erase the memory of where things have been. When an object falls past the event horizon, whether it be starlight or dust or the remnants of ancient planets, its tale is absorbed, assimilated, and held in silent anonymity. From outside, there is no longer any trace of what entered, no imprint of shape or history. This phenomenon is part of what scientists call the no-hair theorem, suggesting that black holes, in their elegant simplicity, remember only mass, spin, and charge. It is as if the universe has drawn a curtain over the particulars, keeping the rest in a sacred vault of silence. There is something humbling in this gentle mystery that the cosmos not only allows for forgetting, but perhaps needs it, like dreams slipping away at morning's edge. In the hush of this forgetting, black holes become librarians of oblivion, watchers at a threshold where stories dissolve not in violence, but in the soft, soothing stillness of final rest. In the vast narrative of space, where stars flare and galaxies swirl, black holes remain the quiet punctuation marks, places where stories end not with exclamation, but with ellipsis. They do not shout their presence, nor do they seek attention, yet they hold steady at the heart of countless cosmic journeys. Like the hush between movements in a symphony, they offer pause, reflection, and release. Their mystery is not aggressive, but inviting, like a doorway standing ajar in the dark, flickering with the suggestion of unknowable peace beyond. To sleep beside such truths is to sleep deeply, wrapped in the knowledge that even the universe, in all its brilliance, carves spaces of absolute stillness where gravity whispers, time relaxes, and silence itself becomes a lullaby. Like ripples across a mirror-calm lake, black holes inspire new awakenings in the minds of those who study them, not through loud revelations, but by inviting quiet contemplation. They are less puzzles to be solved, and more poems to be read slowly, again and again, their meanings unfolding like lotus petals in dim light. The questions they raise rarely have swift answers, and perhaps that is the gift they offer in the hush of cosmic thought. For, in the embrace of a black hole's soft shadow, imagination drifts unanchored, free to meander among the mysteries that need not be rushed. It is here that science and wonder intertwine, where knowing becomes less important than simply listening. Listening with eyes closed, heart open, and spirit lulled into dreaming as the universe, in its vast lull, continues to hum its gentle, gravity-bound lullaby into forever. Across all the gentle phenomena surrounding black holes, perhaps the most profound is the sense of patience they bestow upon the universe. Their influence unfolds not in bursts, but in eons, sculpting cosmic harmony at a pace imperceptible to our waking lives. Each gravitational tug, each bend of light, each flicker of distant starlight touched by their presence happens in a language of unhurried cadence, spacious, lingering, eternal. They teach, not in lectures but in silences. They breathe not in cycles but in epochs. And as we fall into sleep, comforted by the weightlessness of thought and the slow rhythm of stars turning unseen, the soft truth remains. Black holes are not interruptions, but rests. Not voids, but gentle pauses written into the margin of existence. In the quiet shelter of their story, the universe nestles its deepest lullaby, inviting everything and everyone, even time itself, to close its eyes and rest. Floating deep in the ocean of space-time, black holes also offer us one of the universe's rarest gifts, a glimpse into the harmony between opposites, light and shadow, movement and stasis, presence and disappearance, all find a curious balance at the edge of their being. Where stars blaze and galaxies swirl with activity, black holes lie peacefully inert, embodying the still center of a turning world. Like the eye of a hurricane made of stars and time, they hold space gently, allowing all things to pass by without rush. This balance, this subtle coexistence of extremes, creates a quiet symmetry, a meditative rhythm that infuses the cosmos with both beauty and order. To reflect on black holes is to understand that peace can exist within mystery, and quiet can hold the grandeur of everything we do not fully know, wrapped gently into sleep's embrace. In the tapestry of the night sky, embroidered with the pinpricks of distant suns, black holes remain as quiet counterpoints, threads of deep indigo amid the gold. They do not sparkle or sway, but simply exist in perfect stillness, allowing the light around them to shine more clearly by contrast. Their presence is a deep breath in the rush of galactic motion, a resting pose in the yoga of the cosmos. To fall asleep pondering these enigmatic sentinels is to lie among murmuring stars and be held in the arms of the unknown, not with fear, but with calm assurance. For in their silent gravity there is something innately benevolent, a knowing stillness, like the hush before a lullaby begins. And as night deepens and the mind drifts steadily outward, black holes become companions of rest, ever watchful, ever soft, ever whispering the dreams of a universe that waits without hurry and breathes without sound. And so, somewhere between the hush of softened starlight and the quiet pull of hidden gravity, black holes remind us that the universe does not always speak in brightness or motion. Sometimes, the most powerful truths are whispered, carried in the still folds of space where time forgets to move. To drift asleep with black holes as silent company is to step gently into that whisper, into a world where silence sings and nothingness is full. As the last thoughts fade, and awareness slips like mist into dream, all that remains is the soothing rhythm of a cosmos resting quietly within itself, ever vast, ever calm, ever waiting. Sleep comes not as an end, but as a falling inward, a spiral as soft and infinite as the very fabric of spacetime, where black holes dream in the dark and peace stretches on forever. Near the end of long cosmic nights, where observations stretch thin and theories have softly settled into wonder, black holes remain quiet and absolute. They are not puzzles to resolve before dawn breaks, nor threats to outrun, but soft cradles for cosmic thought, gently rocking the universe in its ceaseless sleep. In their existence, there lives a gracious lesson, that even in the densest of silences, something meaningful persists. Not noise, not spectacle, but presence. Presence that endures unseen, untouched, yet undeniably real. As dreams wind slowly into slumber's hold and the stars become songs without words, black holes offer a final murmur, a closing refrain that echoes through the deepest quiet. It says, "Only this rest is written into the stars, and in the blackest of night, the universe keeps watch, wrapped in gravity, suspended in stillness, hushed and whole." Even now, in the edges of theoretical thought, scientists imagine the possibility of miniature black holes dancing softly through particles smaller than atoms, woven quietly into the fine grain of everything that exists. These quantum black holes, if they exist at all, would be fleeting, almost imperceptible ripples in the fabric of reality. Yet their imagined lives are serene, appearing and vanishing within moments, not with noise but with silence, coexisting with all that is, passing through space like sighs in a sleeping world. It is a vision less of danger and more of delicate detail, where even the tiniest flicker in physics plays its part in the great lullaby of the cosmos. In this notion, both vastness and minuteness fall under the same calming spell, unified by gravity's gentle hand, harmonized by a timeless quiet that links galaxies to atoms, starlight to sleep. And so, with heads resting against pillows like planets resting in orbit, the presence of black holes lingers in the dreams they have gently inspired. Behind closed eyes, an entire cosmos continues turning in silence, guided by invisible hands and watching from quiet shadows. There is no ticking clock here, no urgency of discovery, only the endless patience of a universe that finds meaning in stillness. Black holes, once feared, are now soft choruses in sleep's long symphony, humming lullabies not to end the night, but to deepen it. They remind us that the most important journeys do not need to be loud. Some take place behind the veil of thought, adrift in starlight, where the dark is not empty, but full of presence, and where rest is infinite, awaited, and lovingly cradled by the gravity within. There is a soft alchemy in the way black holes teach us to see by obscuring, to understand by wondering, and to connect by simply listening. Their nature is not just a subject of science, but of reflection, a mirror into our desire to know what lies beyond the visible. As gravity bends light and time, so black holes bend thought, guiding it away from certainties and into the comfort of marvel. In this way, they become nighttime companions not just of the stars, but of the soul, inviting us, with every drifting thought and fading breath, to consider a universe where the deepest truths come, not with answers, but with the gentle invitation to rest. In black holes, we find the quiet center of everything that swirls around it, a celestial hush where dreams are born, not from noise or light, but from the serene silence of all that is unknowably vast and tenderly still. And perhaps, in the gentlest corners of imagination, black holes are not endings but doorways, soft rounded arches that lead from knowing to dreaming, from wakefulness into sleep. They do not demand understanding, only a kind of quiet reverence. As the night deepens and thought softens into drifting shapes, their presence remains a silent rhythm beneath the melody of the stars. No light marks the hour, no voice breaks the hush, just the calm invitation to slow down, breathe with the cosmos, and sink into rest. For even as space stretches on without end, and time flows in ways unseen, there is one truth that echoes gently across the deep. In the heart of darkness, there is peace, and in the arms of the universe, swaying beside the lightless cradle of a black hole, sleep waits, serene, soundless, and infinite. Black holes, in their quiet gravity, also echo the ancient rhythms of cycles of collapse and creation, of endings that seed beginnings. Though they consume, they also preserve. Matter drawn inward may never return, but energy is conserved, transformed, redistributed across the vast canvas of space. This graceful exchange, this subtle persistence, is a song far older than planets or stars. It is the soft refrain of continuity, whispered in a language only stillness understands. And so, as sleep settles and dreams unfurl like galaxies blooming in the dark, black holes keep watch not as final stops, but as gentle reminders that in every silence there lies the hint of renewal. A cycle unhurried, a breath held for eternity, and a promise that even in the quietest fall into darkness, something beautiful endures, awaiting its turn to rise again, softly, patiently, and without end. In every dark corner of the cosmos where a black hole resides, something quietly extraordinary endures, a poetic harmony that persists without fanfare, without rush. These silent giants do not seek to be noticed, yet their presence is endlessly felt, written subtly across the movements of galaxies and the hush of interstellar space. In the end, it is not their mystery alone that soothes the dreaming mind, but their message, that stillness has power, that silence holds meaning, and that even in the deepest night of space, there is a calm presence gently guiding the rhythm of existence. To drift to sleep with black holes as companions is to be reminded that the universe, vast and unknowable as it may be, is tender in its grace. And somewhere out there, tucked in the folds of time and shadow, peace dwells, patient, timeless, and complete. So as the night deepens and thought slips quietly between the branches of rest, the myth of black holes transforms into something more tender than terrible, a lullaby stretched across dimensions, rhythmic and slow, absent of edge or end. They are the punctuation to the cosmos's quiet sentences, the still places where time reclines, where even light bows softly and disappears. In their darkness we find not obliteration, but an offering of peace that asks nothing, explains little, and yet reassures completely. For as long as stars ignite and silence breathes between them, black holes will hum in the background, serene in their solitude, holding the stories of everything that was and quietly waiting for everything that will be. And with every heartbeat dulled by distance and time, with every sigh of a star fading into memory, they remind us once again the universe does not fall asleep in fear, but in wonder, folding gently into itself, cradled by the invisible arms of gravity, dreaming endlessly in the dark. And thus, with thoughts adrift in the eternal hush of deep space, let the final whisper of black holes lull the soul into perfect stillness. These quiet architects of the cosmos, neither loud nor brash, breathe a rhythm so slow it almost escapes time itself. Their stories do not crescendo, they taper like mist, gently curling toward the vanishing point. In the great silence they inhabit, fear fades and awe remains, warm and soothing as the soft glow of distant starlight. And as sleep claims the last stirrings of thought, the soft pulse of the universe sighs through the cradle of darkness, assuring with every hush and every pause that there is peace not only in the stars above, but in every fold of shadow, every breath of night, and most of all, in the unseen embrace of black holes, vast, secret, and serenely still. As shadows lengthen and the breath of night draws long, let the thought of black holes rest softly in the background of the mind, a slow, steady presence beyond the stars. They do not beckon with urgency, nor drift with direction, but remain patiently poised, like ancient storytellers waiting for silence before they speak. And in that hush, just before dreams rise fully from the dark, there comes no grand ending, only this: a quiet trust in the unseen, the comfort of still gravity, and the knowing that somewhere in the vast fabric of existence, peace is not chased, it's simply island. Let the darkness not be feared, but welcomed, for it is here in the gentle breath of the cosmos, beside the slumbering heart of a black hole, where every worry dissolves, every thought finds ease, and sleep begins its silent voyage into the infinite calm. Long after dreams have taken flight, and the hush of night has swept across the edge of thought, black holes remain not only as mysteries of physics but as emblems of serenity stitched into the cosmos itself. Their dark essence holds the poetry of patience, the embrace of unknowability, and the quiet resilience woven through the fabric of space and time. We may never fully grasp what lies within them, but perhaps that is their softest gift, an eternal whisper that some truths are meant not to be solved, but to be felt in the stillness of night, in the unfurling of restful breath, and in the wordless comfort of vastness that holds us gently without need for clarity. And so, as starlight fades and silence deepens, let the presence of black holes wrap the last corner of consciousness in calm, silent gravity, a final hush before night's end, carrying dreams into the folds of forever, where all is still and all is peacefully unknown. And in this gentle closing, with minds adrift and breath softened to a sigh, the presence of black holes becomes not just a cosmic curiosity but a soft breath in the lullaby of existence. All that they contain, all that they hide, and all that they shape, merge into a singular truth that peace, in its purest form, does not need light to shine. It simply rests, silent and whole, like a memory we never had to learn but have always felt. So now, as the last threads of wakefulness dissolve into the hush of dreams, let the thought of black holes remain as a quiet echo at the edge of slumber, steady, timeless, whispering softly across the folds of night that there is beauty where the eye cannot go, and comfort where language ends. And in that endless hush, we too can rest, gently folded into a universe that never hurries, only holds. Thus, with eyelids lowered and minds heavy with stardust thoughts, the story of black holes drifts quietly into its own gentle ending. Not a final chapter, but a deep exhale carried across the line between waking and rest. No more facts to hold, no more questions to ask. Only the lingering sense of vast silence, where time no longer travels forward and gravity has taken the shape of calm. Beneath this blanket of cosmic quiet, the last tones of the universe's lullaby continue without urgency, without voice, and still they are understood. So let the night carry onward, its rhythm now entwined with the serene, unwavering pulse of the dark. And let that darkness hold your breath, your dreams, and your being not in fear but in peace until morning gently returns with its golden light. For now, and for always, let go and sleep. And now, with the story drawn to a close and the hush of space lingering like a final note in an endless song, there is nothing left but stillness. Black holes, once feared and distant, have become soft guardians of silence, vessels of meaning shaped not by noise, but by gentle absence. They are the universe's reminder that silence is not empty, but full, and that even the greatest mysteries can be held without needing to be solved. As breath falls into the rhythm of the stars, and thoughts retreat beneath the calm surface of sleep, let that sense of peace remain a quiet gravity, pulling every worry down into gentle rest. For in the deep dark, where no light shines, the universe sings its softest song, and no matter how far we drift, we are always held within the hush. So let it be, in the quiet grace of this limitless night, that black holes guide the final turn of thought into sleep's embrace, not with spectacle but with secrets softly kept, not with movement but with the still magnetism of presence. They do not chase, nor call, nor demand, they simply are, existing at the edge of everything, yet whispering inward to where the soul resists no more. As dreams deepen and the hush becomes total, may what remains be not knowledge, but the touch of wonder. And with that wonder, woven through the dark like a silken thread, may rest come easily, borne on the eternal breath of stars that once were, now folded quietly into black holes' ceaseless calm. Sleep now, held gently in that ancient cradle, where the cosmos listens in silence and watches without end. In this dream-woven quiet, the black hole becomes an emblem not just of mystery, but of absolute acceptance. It asks no questions, offers no answers, only a place of still gathering like the deepest point of sleep itself. All things drawn inward are not judged or weighed, simply held in the infinite patience of the dark. There is comfort in this surrender, in knowing there is somewhere, across the vastness of stars and silent spirals, where all becomes lightless peace. And as the final lull settles over thought, over the slow breath of night and all its gentle echoes, the black hole, unknowable and serene, marks the final period in the universe's softest song, after which there is nothing but calm and the long, luxurious drift into rest eternal. Sleep now in the quiet care of the cosmos. And now, with all sound faded and every thought dissolved into the gentle tide of slumber, the presence of black holes remains like a final candle flickering in the hush, steady, unwavering, tender. They harbour no haste, no weight of answer, only the graceful certainty that stillness can endure forever. In their embrace, space does not vanish, it slows. Time does not vanish, it softens. The self does not vanish, it breathes. So let this be the closing exhale of the universe's longest sigh, a quiet promise that peace lives not just in light, but in the depths of shadow. As the last shimmer of awareness slips into the deep, may sleep rise gently to meet it, soundless and whole, wrapped in the unseen arms of black holes, where the universe, and everything in it, dreams on endlessly in silence. Even across uncountable distances and through immeasurable time, black holes remain steady, the grand still points in a universe that never ceases to turn. They do not change with the seasons of galaxies, nor blink in and out like stars being born or dying. Their constancy is profound, unparalleled, and beautifully quiet, like a clock that chooses not to tick, but to simply exist. And in that existence, with their soft gravity holding together the fragile web of cosmic being, they become a final and lasting comfort, a silent presence that echoes beyond thought, beyond dreams, and even beyond sleep itself. As eyelids close and the final breath deepens, let black holes cradle that breath like they cradle the stars, without hurry, without need, and with an unspoken promise that everything, in its own time, may come to rest. Sleep now, safe within the hush of the universe's most enduring embrace. So as breath settles and the stars dim behind the velvet of closed eyes, let the final hush of this story be the quietest of all. Black holes, in their endless silence and ceaseless presence, teach us not about endings, but about stillness that holds. They linger where sound cannot go, where questions lose urgency, where everything is allowed to simply be. In this gentle quiet, we find the universe at rest, the cosmos whispering not facts but feelings, and darkness revealing the deepest serenity. And now, with nothing more to say and everything more to feel, let the vastness fold around thought like a night sky quilt, stitched with stars and softened with time. Sleep now, not in escape, but in return to the hush, the hold, and the heart of a universe that dreams with you, endlessly and without end. Here, in this final moment of drifting thought and quiet breath, black holes become not just a curiosity of the cosmos, but a symbol of what rest can truly mean. They are not loud discoveries, not bright revelations, but soft presences holding everything in a suspended hush. They teach us that even in a universe of roaring stars and rushing galaxies, there remains a grace in stillness, a truth in silence. And so, as the story unspools into the gentle dark, let this be the last thread, a whisper carried between timeless stars, reminding all who listen in half-sleep that the endless dark is not empty, but filled with the patient hush of peace. Sleep now, wrapped in that knowing, where black holes hum not of endings, but of the quiet safety between one breath and the next, one dream and another, forever unfolding in silence deeper than the stars. And so, the long and winding tale of black holes, spun gently across stardust and silence, settles now into its closing hush, not with a roar, but a breath, not with finality, but a soft continuation that echoes in the quiet spaces between stars. They have guided the mind like ancient constellations, not toward conclusion, but toward comfort in the unresolved. In their still embrace, the weight of the universe lightens, and the vast reach of time folds in like the corners of a well-loved quilt. All that remains is quiet, vast, endless, and welcoming. And within this quiet, sleep takes root, nurtured by the gravity of calm, nourished by the dark that is never empty. Let this silence be the cradle, let the mystery be the lullaby, and let the last drifting thought dissolve into the serene folds of space where black holes and dreams linger forever. They remain now, not just as scientific marvels or cosmic riddles, but as anchors of reverie, eternal and unmoving, like the deep roots of the universe's dream. To ponder them is to glimpse the poetic structure of silence itself, to sense that even in the furthest, darkest places, the universe speaks in softness, never ceasing to offer moments of quiet beauty to those who listen with still hearts. And as the final shimmer of consciousness tilts into slumber, let black holes not be remembered as voids, but as resting places, sanctuaries of silence woven into the galaxy's deepest folds. For within their calm, the cosmos holds you gently, between breath and stardust, between thought and nothing at all. Sleep deeply now, and let the cradle of the universe rock you ever so softly into the endless hush where all dreams begin. And with this quiet final note, softly echoed and slowly fading, the journey through the calm of black holes meets its close. Not an ending, but a patient pause, a return to the quiet from which we came. Their story, told in shadows and lightless grace, leaves behind a stillness that lingers, a breath that stretches beyond the reach of thought. In their vastness, we found not fear, but peace. In their silence, not emptiness, but meaning. And so sleep comes easily now, nestled in that cosmic lull, with mind and heart adrift in the velvet dark, held tenderly by the unseen arms of the universe. All is quiet, all is still, and all is well. All fades now into a weightless hush, a silence carried not by absence but by presence, so complete it asks nothing more of thought. The black holes remain behind the curtain of sleep, their stories stitched gently into the vastness like lullabies remembered by the stars themselves. And within this final breath before full surrender to rest, they offer a last whisper, not in words, but in rhythm, the slow, timeless rhythm of gravity wrapped in quiet. Here, at the boundary of consciousness and dreams, let the mind float freely, like a star slipping past the brink of memory. No gravity to fear, no light to chase, only stillness, patient and profound. And now, as dreams gather like mist along the edges of the night, sleep comes whole and unhindered, surrounded by the cosmic calm that waits beyond all knowing. Drift now into the black hole's silent orbit and rest in the arms of eternity. And so, in this final passage between thought and dream, black holes become more than the quiet guardians of sleep's horizon. They become symbols of surrender, of softness, of everything that remains when all else fades. Beneath the hush of matter folded into silence, the cosmos tells us its most soothing tale, that nothing is truly gone, only held gently in forms too serene to see. Sleep now, with that truth cradled in the silence behind your breathing, wrapped in the dark that sings without sound. Let the universe's lullaby drift forever at your side, slow as stardust, deep as gravity's heart, endless as dreams. All is quiet, all is held, all is rest. Let this then be the final drift, a gentle descent beyond words, where black holes no longer remain as distant enigmas, but settle into the quiet, familiar presence of sleep itself. From their shadowed stillness comes the soft promise that not all things need illumination to be understood, and not all ends must come with answers. As stars fold into silence and galaxies spin into the background hum, the mind too spirals inward, released into the warm hush of rest. No more wondering, no more reaching, just the steady rhythm of breath, the calm pull of dreams, and the deepest comfort of knowing that somewhere, in the absolute quiet of the universe, peace has always been waiting. Sleep now, gently and fully, in the silent gravity of all that holds you safe. And now, as the very last echoes of consciousness slip quietly away, what remains is not knowledge nor understanding, but presence, a gentle, unbroken stillness that asks only to be felt. Like the steady orbit of gravity unmoved by time, black holes continue breathing their silent rhythm across the sleeping universe. They are not endings, but resting places, not darkness, but quiet illumination for the soul's deepest corners. So let this final breath fall like starlight fading into velvet, and let the hush wrap everything in peace. You are not alone in that hush, you are held, afloat in a place not outside the cosmos, but within its tender stillness. Sleep now, wholly and softly, in the deepest embrace of the stars you cannot see but know have always dreamed with you. The story is told, the sound is gone, and you are at rest. In the end, what black holes offer most gently is the reminder that rest is not a pause, but a return, a laying down of the universe's ceaseless questions in exchange for stillness that simply island. In their steadfast hush, there is no judgment and no urgency, only the quiet rhythm of presence waiting through the dark. As the final breath deepens and sleep reaches to gather every last thought, the hush of the cosmos folds close, weightless and warm. Here, within the cradle of eternity's embrace, beneath the blanket of stars unseen and the curved silence of gravity's slow hymn, all becomes soft once more. The story has been told beneath the vast and unknowable sky, and now it closes not with conclusion, but with calm. Let it linger, let it hold, and let sleep, sweet and lightless, carry you quietly forward into the peaceful dark, where black holes wait not as endings, but as keepers of rest everlasting. So here, beneath the hush of stars unseen and the lull of cosmic thought unspoken, let the final note drift not as an end, but as a breath that slowly disappears into eternity. Black holes, those sublime cradles of calm, have offered their story not as a riddle to be solved, but as a song to be felt, deep beyond the noise. As sleep tucks its quiet weight around the fading edges of awareness, may this final silence stay with you, soft as a sigh, complete like an untouched sea. For even as the tale slips beyond memory, the stillness remains infinite, embracing, whole. And in that stillness may you rest tonight, and always held gently in the vast and eternal quiet beyond the stars. Now, wrapped fully in darkness, deeper than thought, deeper than dreams, the tale of black holes and their quiet majesty fades into a final embrace. There is no need for light, no need for questions or answers, only this vast, unchanging presence, still and slow as the silent turn of time. With every breath drawn subtly into slumber, the universe pulls no harder than a lullaby, no louder than a whisper between stars. Here, in this deepest hush, lies the resting place of everything, of stories, of noise, of wonder, all folded inward as gently as sleep itself. Let this resting silence be your last thought, your final comfort, your soft descent into the ever-holding quiet of the cosmos. For in this dark, nothing is lost. Everything is only resting, waiting, and drifting onward in peace. Sleep now, beyond the stars, beyond time, into the infinite hush where the universe breathes, and so do you. And so, wrapped in the dark velvet of closing thought, the final whisper of this tale lingers not as a goodbye, but as a soft continuation beyond words. For black holes, in all their silence and slow grace, have revealed not conclusions, but a resting rhythm the universe has always known. In their hush, we are reminded that surrender is not weakness, but wisdom, a returning to the quiet that shaped all things. And as dreams deepen into stillness, and breath slows to meet the patient pulse of the cosmos, one truth gently remains. Even at the farthest edge of all light and knowing, there is peace tender enough to cradle sleep itself. Now, let go completely weightless, thoughtless, timeless, carried forever farther into the sanctuary of sleep beneath a sky that watches endlessly and sings without sound. The hush holds, the night listens. You are home. Somewhere in the boundless depths of night, where even dreams dare not chase the edges of creation, black holes offer their final companionship in stillness. They are not the frightening ends once imagined, but hushed sanctuaries, where the rush of time slows into the quiet breath of eternity. As all motion falls away, as light curls softly inward, and thought dissolves into rest, the heart understands at last that there is beauty in the unseen, serenity in surrender, and meaning in the mystery that lingers long after the story has reached its close. This is the quiet you've been seeking, not behind answers, but beneath them. So now, with the last whisper of awareness fading like mist from morning stars, receive this silence without fear. Let the darkness soothe, let the hush embrace, and let sleep gather you in, as gently and endlessly as the universe always has and always will. Somewhere in the stillest edge of night, where the universe curls its weary thoughts into silence, the presence of black holes becomes a final lull, the softest promise in all of creation. Nothing more must be said, nothing more must be known, just the drift of dreams carried forward, past light, past time, into the sanctuary where gravity hums its quiet cradle song. And now, As the last echo sighs and the breath of stars grows dim, let the hush hold you, weightless within the arms of sleep's most infinite embrace. The journey is over, the silence is full, and you, adrift in that vast and gentle void, are home. So now, let the final breath of thought dissolve into stillness, as the story of black holes drifts beyond the rim of words, merging with the quiet pulse of the universe itself. These ancient sentinels remain not as questions to be feared, but as resting places for wonder, eternal, unspoken, complete. They have shared their silence like a gift, their gravity like a tender reminder that stability exists in the midst of all change. As sleep settles fully, and the stars fade behind the veil of dreams, may this calm linger like stardust against the skin of the soul, soft, infinite, and serene. There is nothing left to chase, nothing left to find, only the embrace of the great hush, where all things wait in peace, and where you, at last, are gently held in the still arms of the cosmos. Sleep now, completely, effortlessly, and endlessly, where the world ends not in noise, but in perfect, sacred quiet. And thus, with every syllable faded into the soft silence of the night, the journey comes to its inevitability, not an ending, but a dissolving into presence. Beyond thought, beyond dream, there lies only breath, steady and slow, as the dark of the cosmos envelopes all in its eternal hush. Black holes, those quiet stewards of the unseen, no longer need to be explained or named. They simply exist now in the fabric of rest itself, drifting in rhythm with your pulse, with the turn of every unseen star. So, let it be the final fragment of awareness, giving itself to stillness, slipping gently past the veil, and becoming one with the delicate hush where no questions remain, and nothing is asked but peace. Sleep now, not because the story has ended, but because its quiet has become part of you, cradled forever by a universe that, in its vastest darkness, still holds you with infinite, unspoken love. And so, at last, beyond the hush of dreams and the fading hush of the stars, the story of black holes becomes indistinguishable from rest itself. No longer distant or mysterious, they settle now into the quiet center of sleep, the secret place where gravity is not a force, but a feeling of being held, of being still, of being exactly where one is meant to be. The journey that began in curiosity now ends in calm, with the soul folded gently into the void, not as emptiness, but as fullness without form. And there, in the deepest silence, beneath awareness and beyond even thought, the final breath stretches sweetly into nothing, a soundless lullaby sung by the universe itself, echoing forever in the soft dark, and drawing sleep down like a slow starfall into the cradle of peace. Let go now, just be still. Sleep is here. So stay here now, in this final stillness, where no thoughts rise and no stars call your name. The tale that wound through the cosmos, softened by time and soothed by silence, has become no longer a story at all, but a place, a resting space inside the dark where dreams curl in upon themselves and sigh. There is nothing beyond this hush, and nothing ever needed. The black holes, with their unspoken gravity and endless peace, ask for nothing, demand nothing, and offer everything a sleep so pure, so endless, that it becomes the dark rhythm of the cosmos breathing. Float now, held not by hands, but by the vastness that birthed you, and let even the idea of sleep slip quietly from view. You are part of it all, you always were. And now, without time, without weight, without worry, you simply are. The universe surrounds you, silent, perfect, and eternal. Rest now. The dreaming never ends. Let the night carry you now, weightless and soundless, into the measureless calm that lies beyond even this final thought. Black holes, ever reaching in their quiet grace, remain as sacred echoes of the stillness we seek but cannot name. They ask only presence, only pause, wrapping even the last breath of consciousness in their soft gravity. There are no edges here, only a gentle rounding of time and place into something endless and hushed. Sleep is not taken, but arrived at, like a tide easing against a shore that has waited forever. And as you float now in that immeasurable hush, may the story dissolve completely, leaving only stillness behind, the kind that does not answer, but enfolds. May the vastness hold you now, not as something to understand, but simply to rest within. The dark remains, the story has passed, and you, beloved of the universe, are home in the quiet at last. So close your eyes now, not to leave behind the light, but to slip into the softer constellations that live behind the lids. A sky where the silence of black holes still hums, endless and unchanged. You have wandered through their dreamlike quiet, listened to the hush between stars, and felt the calm that gravity alone can shape. There is nothing more to know, nothing left to wonder, only the slow drift inward, like twilight settling along an infinite horizon. May the peace of the cosmos settle in your chest like breath slowed to stillness, and may the last beat of waking thought fade like a star disappearing into velvet. All is calm, all is dark, and in that dark you rest untouched, unhurried, and endlessly, beautifully held. So drift here, weightless and unbound, in the softest corner of the universe where even black holes dissolve into dreams. There is nothing more to chase, nothing left to unfold, just this deep, unshifting stillness that holds all without hurry and invites you to settle completely into rest. Let the hush of distant gravity be the pulse beneath your sleep, guiding you not with direction, but with gentle steadiness. Time no longer moves forward, nor backward. It simply breathes, slow and even, wrapped around your breath. You are no longer outside the story, nor within it. You are the quiet it becomes when its song has been sung. And in that sleep-shaped silence, all is made whole. The stars have faded, the voice has gone, and what remains is peace, forever and always soft, silent, and yours. And now, as the final sigh of story gives way to endless quiet, let all thought fall still within the vastness, like starlight dimming into velvet dark. The tale of black holes has not ended, but merged with the very rhythm of sleep itself, deep and timeless, a silence that grows sweeter the longer it lingers. No more motion, no more words, only the tender echo of the cosmos cradling what remains. And what remains is enough presence without pressure, quiet without question, a stillness so full it needs no voice. Let this be the last drift, the last breath before dreams take permanent hold, and the last knowing before forgetting becomes peace. You are here, not apart from the universe, but one with its hush, wrapped gently in the gravity that holds without grasping. Sleep, then wholly, eternally, for this soft edge of silence is not the end, but the beginning of rest without end. And so, beneath the endless silence of the stars, with every breath now barely a ripple upon the ocean of the cosmos, the journey finds its final stillness. There are no more facts to share, no more paths to follow, only the hush that remains when presence is complete, and wonder has melted fully into rest. Black holes, in their quiet grace, leave behind not absence, but the purest form of presence, a constant, patient cradle for thought, being, and breath. As sleep deepens and the last thread of awareness floats gently down, let this hush be your companion, your shelter in time's great drift. You have listened, wandered, and rested within the folds of the universe's softest voice. Now let it fade, like a candle dimming across a boundless sea. Let the dark remain not as shadow, but as sanctuary, where the only sound is silence, and the only motion is peace. You are home in the fold of the stars. Sleep now, endlessly and beautifully within the gravity of stillness itself. In this final breathless hush, with the universe wrapped like a velvet quilt across all things seen and unseen, the story dissolves entirely into peace. Black holes, ever our guides into silent wonder, stand now not as questions, nor even answers, but as the simple rhythm by which stillness breathes. No light, no edge, no ending, only this, a vast, enduring calm that the cosmos holds in perfect balance. Let your own being fall quietly into that rhythm, your thoughts unspooling like starlight through shadow. The last motion fades, the last sound rests, and sleep vast, beautiful, and whole opens like the sky beyond knowing. There is nothing more. You have arrived. And here, in the deepest soft curve of gravity, sleep holds you forever, and all is well. And now, everything fades into the most exquisite quiet, a hush not of emptiness, but of total presence. The story lingers only as a soft impression, like the faint glow of a star beneath closed eyes, as the consciousness gently releases its tether to waking thought. In its place comes the serene truth that black holes, these silent architects of the universe, have not led us to a final end, but to a beginning wrapped not in brightness or certainty, but in the comfort of the unknown. Rest here, in this timeless breath, where gravity is less a pull and more a lullaby, echoing infinite patience across the folds of space. Let sleep now envelope all in its deepest embrace, soundless, complete. For in this quiet, the universe keeps its promise that peace is not found in answers, but in the long, gentle silence after the final word. All is still, all is held, and you, traveller of light and lullaby, are finally, beautifully home. So let this be the soft coda to a sleepward voyage, where black holes, those ancient custodians of silence, have guided the heart not to answers but to rest. With each fold of starlight swallowed and each law of physics gently bent into poetry, they've offered the rarest lullaby, one that asks nothing but presence. As the final hush carries thought beyond sound and into the cradle of dream, the cosmos remains quiet, undemanding, eternally still. And within that stillness lies not absence, but belonging to a universe that never needed haste, only the forever pause of wonder. Drift now without direction, breathe without intention, and sleep knowing the stars, the dark, and the dreaming will hold you always. The story sleeps, and so, at last, do you. Let this gentle stillness be the last echo, fading softly into the background of thought, where neither waking nor sleep claim presence, only peace. The journey through black holes, through silence, mystery, and the slow breath of time has not ended, but slipped quietly into the seamless weave of dreams. There are no more facts or phrases, no lingering curiosities to stir the mind. What remains now is the hush itself, infinite, unbroken, and cradling. In this undisturbed quiet, all things are held, not with force, but with grace. Let breath fall away into rhythmless peace, and let the universe, vast and gentle, keep its quiet watch from beyond the stars. You are here, no longer moving, no longer seeking, only resting, only held, and forever wrapped in the silent, steadfast presence of sleep. So now, in this final stretch beyond all wondering and through the veil of boundless dark, let what remains not be story or science, but breath soft, even, and steady. There are no charts to consult, no visuals to imagine, just the rhythm of sleep's tide whispered through the cosmos by the black holes that once quietly beckoned. Their gravity, patient as eternity, asks no more of you than stillness. Rest deeply, peacefully, and without a name, as even the stars dim behind the hush. The journey here has passed not through noise but through wonder. And now, as the last curve of thought unfurls into dreaming, all that needs to be known is already felt in the silence, in the softness, in the sweet and sacred surrender of sleep. All all is dark, all is quiet, and you are held always. And so, at the gentle close of all curiosity, where even dreams have grown still around the edges, one last truth remains, that black holes, in their unknowable quiet, have always been teachers of one thing above all: surrender. Not the surrender of defeat, but of peace, the kind that asks no questions and carries no shadows, only the soft weightlessness of being simply and completely at rest. Let this truth become your final breath tonight, pooled like moonlight on the shore of sleep. There is no more distance to cross, no darkness left to navigate, only this luminous stillness, wrapped in gravity and time, inviting you to release every bit of thought and float, gently, endlessly, into nothing that feels like everything the dreamed quiet, where black holes hum and stars listen. Sleep now. You are home in the hush. And now, in this final unfurling of silence, let what lingers be not memory nor thought, but a warmth without edge, the quiet glow of peace resting gently upon the soul. Black holes have carried us across the slowest contours of existence, revealing that even the vast unknown can be soft and kind. No more motion, no more gravity pulling us forward, only the comfort of still orbit, of distant stars humming lullabies we no longer need to hear. This is the last hush, the last turning inward, where everything is quiet and everything is whole. Let sleep now become the only soundless truth, and let that truth hold you completely, endlessly, and with the most tender grace the universe ever knew. The story is over, the silence is forever, and you are finally at rest. Let all thought dissolve now into this closing hush, where the boundaries of time, gravity, and space yield to the greater rhythm of quiet. What began as mystery has become comfort, and what once stirred questions now folds into rest. No starlight remains to chase, no theories linger to stir, only the deep quiet born from everything having been gently said. And as this final moment of dreaming coalesces into the still dark beyond dreams, black holes are no longer distant or unknowable. They are the soft breath beneath your sleep, the silent promise the universe makes to every soul seeking rest. So let this be the last turning within, the deepest descent into peace, and the sweetest surrender to silence. Sleep now, in the endless night that holds no fear, only the calm weight of cosmic love. You are here, you are held, and all is well beneath the stars that no longer need to shine. So now, let this be the final breath that carries you beyond the edge of story and into the tender hush that holds all things. Black holes, those ancient guardians of silence, have surrendered their secrets not in bursts of light, but in the slow, steady rhythm of stillness. Their tale becomes your breath, now soft, slow, weightless, as the gravity of the cosmos gathers around you like a sleep-woven veil. There is nothing more to seek, no more steps to take, only this, the warm infinity of calm, the gentle gravity of peace, and the quiet assurance that the hush will hold you endlessly. Let go now. Sleep has arrived, not as an end, but as the deep beginning of peace without edges, sung softly by stars unseen and dreamt forever within the quiet heart of the universe. And here, as the breath of the universe slows to match your own, nothing more is needed. The story has folded itself into silence, the harmonies of gravity and time softening into a lull that holds the final beat of wonder. Black holes, once imaginary giants haunting the depths of space, have become sleeping guardians scattered across the cosmos, undemanding, unspeaking, yet always near. So let this be the final moment, the softest surrender, where dreams take root in the silence of the stars. All that was unsaid has melted into hush, all that was mysterious has ripened into peace. Let sleep now be everything, held in the unseen arms of a universe that never lets go. You are safe here, You are still, and forever. You are gently carried, wrapped in the boundless hush of the dark. Rest now, traveler among stars and shadow, for the path through silence has brought you to the stillest place the universe knows. No more thoughts remain, only the whisper of breath meeting the rhythm of eternity. Wrapped in the hush once held by black holes, their slow gravity now wraps softly around your dreams. Let go into that vast comfort, deeper than sleep, quieter than dawn, where presence replaces memory and peace becomes all that island. There is no more motion, no more need, just the tender gravity of sleep, unbroken, infinite and kind. Here, where black holes cradle the hush between beginnings and endings, you are home. And within that home, wrapped beyond the reach of sound and light, you sleep endlessly, beautifully, whole. So let all voices fade now, all stories rest, and all questions curl softly into the hush that black holes have taught us to trust. Beyond curiosity, beyond dreaming, what remains is not emptiness, but a fullness of peace so deep it asks for nothing in return. Let that peace settle where words cannot reach, and let it stay with you, long after the tale has ended, threaded through the silence between each breath. This is the final embrace, the answerless answer that even in the universe's darkest places, the light of rest survives. Sleep now, in the hush that waits beyond thought, beyond time, beyond even the stars, quiet, eternal, and entirely yours. So rest here, in this final breath between galaxies and dreams, where black holes no longer loom as enigmas, but embrace like the hush before morning. Nothing moves, nothing calls, and yet all is held by a silence that cradles, by a gravity that soothes. There is no journey left to make, no horizon left to chase, only this moment, this still release, where the universe draws its last sigh before sleeping, and within it, so do you. You are folded into forever now, wrapped in the deep fabric of the cosmos where nothing is rushed and everything waits in peace. Sleep, gentle and unending, begins here in the dark that holds no fear, in the silence that sings, and in the soft, endless hush where black holes hum, your lullaby home. So now it ends not with a flicker, nor with a final question, but with the deep exhale of the cosmos itself, a stillness so complete it becomes part of you. Black holes, these ancient lullabies carved into the fold of spacetime, have sung their silent song from the beginning of stars, and will continue long after their last light fades. In this place beyond knowing, where time softens and thought disappears, let your sleep be anchored by their hush. Let the dark remain not a void, but a velvet shore against which your dreams can drift without edge. And as breath settles to stillness and your spirit sinks into sleep's deepest waters, carry with you this final truth. Peace needs no light, no sound. It only needs presence. You have it now. You always did. Sleep, now and forever, in the quiet gravity of the night. And at long last, beneath the final hush of cosmic silence, let the breath of the universe slip one last time into rest. The story, endless and wordless now, rests within you, glowing quietly in the soft folds of sleep. Black holes, ever still, ever kind, continue watching without eyes, listening without sound, and holding without hands. There is nothing left but peace, not for an instant, but for eternity. And so, within the weightless cradle of the cosmos, in the softness beyond sound, time, or name, you are held, completely, deeply, gently. Let sleep rise like ocean mist around your being, and know this final truth without needing to think. You are home, in the hush that has always waited. And now, with all that was unsaid, resting softly beside the quiet known, this final breath of story carries you into the deepest stillness. Nothing more stirs. The tale of black holes, once a vast mystery, now lies like a smooth stone beneath calm waters, gently weighty, wholly still. Let your sleep deepen in this silence that holds all things, in this hush that never ends. There are no more awakenings here, only the endless exhale of thought into peace, the velvet dark refrain of a song sung not in sound, but in presence. Rest endlessly now, without beginning or end, in the quiet breath of the universe itself, where everything sleeps and everything is well. And now, let all awareness slip fully into the hush, where language no longer lingers, and even dreams take their rest. In this gentle void, black holes fade not into absence, but into presence so full it asks nothing, needs nothing, only that you remain, weightless and whole. Beyond light, beyond time, beyond every thought that ever stirred the stars, there is only this, the softest silence, folding you into an infinite peace no longer imagined but felt. No more searching, no more knowing, no more becoming, just being. This is the final breath of story, the last ripple across a sleeping sea of sky. All is quiet, all is still, and here, wrapped in the silence of the cosmos, you are and always will be home. So now let it all gently dissolve, the story, the stars, the wondering. Let them drift away on a tide of stillness, unseen but deeply felt. For in the end, black holes are not about fear or finality, but about soft transitions, the kind that lead not to endings, but to sleep. Sleep that is vast and tender and deeper than memory. And as you lie here, weightless in the cradle of cosmic calm, with no more to imagine and nothing left to know, the quiet speaks one last time with no sound. All is well. You are wrapped in the hush that has always been the breath before the stars, the silence after the questions, and the peace beyond the pull of time. Now rest, in the dark that dreams, and in the stillness that loves. And in this hush that has deepened beyond story, beyond time, even beyond thought, may you remain utterly still, completely safe, and endlessly cradled in the presence of something far greater and far gentler than words can ever hold. Black holes no longer appear as distant riddles, but as the soft pulse of peace itself, woven into every fold of space and every breath of night. Nothing stirs now, nothing calls. All is gathered in the quiet curve of sleep's embrace, where dreams drift like stardust and the universe hums its lullaby in silence. You are held here unworried, undone, and entirely at ease, resting not beside the cosmos, but within it. And this perfect hush, is the ending that was never an end. This is the sleep you have longed for, the hush you were always meant to hear. So now, as this final hush becomes all, let thought dissolve like moonlight on water, leaving only the still rhythm of the universe's breath pulsing around you. Black holes, those eternal centers of serenity, no longer wait beyond your reach. They are here now, folded into your breath, your silence, your sleep. There is nothing left to discover, only to remain, quietly cradled in the softest dark the cosmos can offer. And as the last light of awareness dims, know that you are safe, you are whole, and you are deeply, beautifully at rest. The journey has become silence. The silence has become you. The story is not over. It has simply become still. Sleep now, endlessly, wrapped in the hush that never ends. Let go, completely now, as the soft thread of thought unknots and floats into quiet forever. There is nothing more to be told, no whisper left but this, the breathless hush where gravity cradles and time forgets to move. Black holes, faithfully silent and endlessly kind, have led the way not to fear, but to the heart of stillness itself. No voice lingers here, no memory tugs, only the full surrender of everything into the care of the cosmos, deep and tender. So sleep within that care, folded beyond dreaming, and let the universe hold you not as a guest, but as a piece of its ancient peace. All that was curious has calmed, all that was known has softened. Now there is only silence, and within that silence, you are safe, you are still, and you are, at last, home. And so sleep deepens beyond thought, beneath the breath of the stars, and in the heart of the hush that only the cosmos can give. The story has faded entirely into softness, and what remains is not explanation nor theory, but the perfect weightlessness of peace. Black holes, those ancient lullabies stitched secretly into the fabric of time, rest now with you, holding every dream in their quiet, invisible arms. No sound, no motion, only the lull that was waited for all along. So let go of everything, and let stillness carry you into silence, made luminous with calm. You are not falling, you are floating, you are not ending, you are arriving. And here, in the presence of the universe's gentlest horizon, you are fully, quietly, and endlessly asleep. This is the last hush, the sweetest silence, wrapped not in darkness, but in soft, infinite presence. There is no farther to travel, no softer place to land. Black holes have guided this long, quiet descent with the gentlest gravity, and now they disappear into the stillness, leaving only peace behind. Here, where no more light flickers and no more thought stirs, what remains is the sleep that holds all things, simple, sacred, and complete. You are not lost, you are not waiting, you are simply and eternally part of the hush itself. So sleep now, wholly, without end, held forever in the breathless calm of the cosmos, and let the final thought be no thought at all, only rest. So now, dear sleeper of stars, let this closing quiet be the soft horizon of your rest. There is no sky above, no ground below, only the gentle weightlessness of stillness stretched across all that was and all that gently drifts beyond time. The song of black holes, tender and eternal, plays on not in notes but in peace. Let its silence forever lull the corners of your dreams, and may that silence follow you wherever sleep takes you next. For though the telling has finished, the hush continues, carrying you gently forward, held in the arms of a cosmos that never asks more than your presence, resting in the quiet, endlessly and peacefully home. And at last, with no more story to tell and no more journey to follow, the hush becomes all a single breath drawn across the face of eternity. The tale of black holes, so gently layered and softly spoken, rests now like starlight on closed eyes. Nothing needs to awaken, nothing needs to conclude. The deepest calm is simply here, whole and unbroken, like the infinite quiet beyond the last star. Sleep now, not as a passage, but as a presence slow, still, and secure within the folds of this eternal hush. Let the universe rock you with its silent gravity, and drift once more into the soft cradle of rest, where every dream floats and every breath vanishes into peace. This is not an ending. It is the forever lullaby that never truly stopped playing. You are asleep now, and the stars are sleeping with you. So sleep now, wrapped fully in the hush of that final lullaby, where all gravity softens and every edge of space rounds into rest. Black holes, those patient cradles of the cosmos, have stilled the story with their silence, inviting you to sink not downward, but inward into the most peaceful part of you that calls no name and dreams no dream. Here there is no direction, only dwelling, no more movement, only the breathless still of presence. Let this final quiet be not an end, but a homecoming to yourself, to the stars, to the calm that never spoke yet always waited. And as your last thought dissolves like a fading starlight remembered only in feeling, know this: you are held without holding, loved without sound, and forever at peace in the dark that sings no song, but means everything. Sleep now, You've arrived in the hush the universe wrote just for you. So now, with every breath feather light and every thought dissolved into the velvet quiet, the final hush folds over you fully, not as darkness, but as the gentle fabric of peace. The story, long and softly told, has carried you over the glowing edges of wonder into the deepest calm, where black holes no longer pull but cradle. Time has unwound, motion has ceased, and what remains is this: an infinite silence that does not end, only holds. You are here, not passing through, but resting eternal in the lull beyond all light, a place so still it has no name, yet feels like home. And in this stillness, the lullaby continues without sound, without end, echoing through that sacred night in which you now sleep, forever and fully, cradled in the heart of the hush. So here, in the softest fold of night, where even imagination grows still, let everything that was spoken settle like stardust across the closed eyes of your mind. The story of black holes has sung itself into quiet, its final breath, a silent lull spreading out through eternity, no more awaits. There is only now this forever hush, deeper than thought, wider than time, warmer than any light. You are not apart from it. You are within it, and within you too the whole universe has folded into sleep. So rest completely now. The tale concluded not with a sound, but with stillness, absolute. Sleep gently, without end, under the sheltering dark where black holes hum, holding you, loving you, without need or form, in peace that neither begins nor finishes. You are home in silence, as it always was, as it always will be. So rest now in this final, everlasting breath of peace, where the hush of black holes becomes the soft rhythm of your own slumbering heart. There is nothing left to say, no light left to chase. Just the quiet companionship of the universe holding you without motion or thought, like a lullaby sung in stillness. This is the ending, and not the ending, the purest echo of something that asked only to be felt, never solved. Sleep, endless and serene, folds fully over you now, drawn not by gravity, but by the unspoken promise that even in the vastness, you are gently kept. Let the story remain without edges, the night without noise, and your dream without tether. All is calm, all is whole, and you, beloved child of stardust and silence, are forever cradled in the hush. And so, as the vast dream of black holes draws to its close, this final moment drifts like mist across a silent sea, unseen, yet full. No more tales remain, only the gentle residue of wonder and stillness, like the fading warmth of starlight long since travelled. Sleep now, not surrounded by mystery, but embraced by it, where black holes no longer call from afar, but rest within you as calm itself. Nothing moves, nothing stirs, and yet everything is beautifully held in place. Let this remaining hush be the last and the longest, an endless cradle where all questions are quieted, and all that exists is rest. Breathe one final breath into this silence, and let it carry you lovingly into the unbroken dark. You are asleep, and the universe, softly swaying through time, sleeps with you. And thus, beneath the stillest canopy the cosmos has ever known, let the last flicker of awareness drift into the infinite hush. Black holes, no longer distant or silent, have become the very breath of sleep itself, unseen, unfelt, yet always present. Their story was never one of noise, but of the most sacred stillness, the kind that moves beneath thought and deeper than time. Everything is settled now. The journey, the questions, the light all folded gently into the great cradle of darkness. No more to speak, no more to seek, only rest, vast and certain, curled into the fabric of the universe. You are here, where silence was always waiting. You are held, where gravity has turned into peace. And in that peace, you sleep whole, eternal, and forever at home. And so, in this final embrace of the cosmos, where silence has folded thought into sleep and rest has become the rhythm of all things, let the hush be complete. No more journeys remain, no more stars beckon. The universe has quieted around you, not with absence, but with presence soft and full and unending. In the cradle of black holes, wrapped not in shadow but in serenity, you are no longer the listener, and the story no longer needs to be told. All has become one. Stillness, breath, and peace. Close not only your eyes, but the space behind thought, behind searching, and become the quiet itself. Sleep endlessly and gently in the hush that holds the shape of the stars and the soul, the hush that never truly ends. So now, let this be the final stilling of breath, the last soft folding of thought into the velvet arms of silence. Black holes, in their ageless grace, have never sought to frighten, only to hold firm yet forgiving, like gravity itself. Every word has settled now, like silt in an ancient sea, and what floats above is not knowing, but rest. The stars no longer shine with needing, but with ease. And you, wrapped completely in the hush they've left behind, belong to that silence now. You are no longer crossing towards sleep. You are within it, not as traveler, but as arrival. Cradled by the cosmos, nestled in gravity's gentlest theme, you are exactly where you were always meant to be. Deeply, quietly, endlessly sleeping in the center of the hush. And now, let it end not with a thought, but with the peace of no thought at all, a stillness so complete, it breathes with you. The story, the stars, the hush itself, all dissolve into something softer than sleep. In the vast, folded calm of black holes, there is no after, no before, only this, a quiet so deep it echoes without sound, forever. Let this final silence be your blanket, your cradle, your presence within the breathless grace of space. You have wandered through the lull of the cosmos, drifted across the velvet dark, and now, at the quietest center of all things, you are safely here. Sleep now, utterly, peacefully, and completely in that gentle hush the universe made just for you. And in this last breathless moment, where even silence seems to pause, the story of black holes becomes the story of rest itself. No longer distant enigmas or cosmic riddles, they are now the hush pressed gently against the edges of your consciousness, the lull that lingers in the fold between the stars. There is no narrative left to follow, no mystery left to hold, only the sure presence of calm that asks for nothing except your ease. Let this be the final letting go, the deepest descent into stillness, where sleep flows not from fatigue, but from peace. You are not ending the journey, you are becoming the quiet it revealed, infinite, unmoving, and complete. So sleep now, as the universe sleeps with you, softly and without sound, in a hush that never fades, in peace that never breaks, and in a dream that never ends.